Okay, so everybody here?
Yes.
Okay, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Good. Bien. Okay. Hey, so, do you have question before we start? No question. Okay, just reminders that your final exams will be on Wednesday, the 18th. Okay, and the final exam will be 200 points. Okay, 100 points will be regular type of questions. You have multiple choice, you have true and false, you have matching, and then short answer. That's half of the question, which is 100 points. The other 100 points will be coming from essays. So there are several essays questions for 100 points. If you do your assignment, of course, you already have done some of the assignments, you should not be having difficulty for the essay questions. So mostly it's going to be similar with your assignments, asking you about the adaptations, the evolutions, the morphology, the color, why it look like that, and why it's now become exist in this, what kind of adaptations that they have or they performs against the force of the evolution. What is the force of evolutions again? Natural selection. So what their ability to be able to being adapted to this natural selection. Okay, that's the final exam. And then the day after that, which is on Thursday, you will have presentations. Remember, this class is going to be 100 points for presentations. Okay, and then for presentations, I want you to choose your topic, your own topic, but make sure when you do presentation, make sure you put the emphasis on that your topics on the structure, the habitats, and their adaptations to their habitat, because this is evolution, right? So you make a connection between that structure with adaptations and their evolution. What make them become dominant, for example, on their habitats? You can choose any organism, any species that you want to choose for your topic. And I believe the time for presentation is 5 to 10 minutes, right, per person. So if you take 2 classes, you're gonna do 2 presentations, because this presentation will be in the front of all students for this program. Okay. And again, please send your topic to me. So therefore, nobody will have the same topic for their presentation. Okay. You have question for this? This is just for your information for next week. Now, if you don't have questions, then we will continue our lecture. Now, yesterday we talked about, anybody still remember what was our topic the last time? Where we stopped?
We were talking about phylogenies a lot.
Phylogeny, which is the origin, origin of species. And within that phylogeny, it look like a tree, right? And every branch, the point that making branches, what is telling you? What the point is telling you on that branches? Common ancestor. So every point on the branch is telling you, oh, this group on the top, okay, from that branch is coming from the same common ancestor. And maybe later on that branch making other branchings, and that point on that each branch will also telling you, oh, this is this group over here making or coming from the same common ancestor. Okay, so this is how Darwin actually promote the evolutions, making these changings with the coming from the common ancestor. Now we going back again here. Okay, the fossils time scale. Okay, so how many time scale in the based on the fossil records? 4. What is the first one?
Precambrian.
How long is that? From
1.5
billion to
years ago to
That's 600 million.
630 or 55, 51 million years ago. What happened during that Precambrian scale? In general. Yeah, okay, Emma. Okay, yeah.
I think the most primitive cell starts to form.
Yeah, but before that, of course, before that's gonna be that's the time when the Earth formed, right? 4.5 billion ago, the Earth formed, and then what is the next things happening? Remember, on the Earth there will be no life at all during that time. Mostly, it's gonna be just inorganic molecules, mostly gases. A lot of gases during the first time of Earth. Now, what happened with that gases?
They collide.
They collide and create what is from inorganic become organic molecules. This is what we call the chemical evolution. So starting from the chemical evolution, from the inorganic gases to make organic molecules. And these organic molecules then trap. Some of them collide, trapping the membranes, creating, and then create a new first type of cell. Anybody still remember what is the name of that first type of cell?
Protobionts.
Protobionts. When is happening? When is it happening? About 3.5 billion years ago. Okay, so 4.5 billion Earth form, and then there is a chemical evolution and starting to create a new first type of cell about 3.5 billion years ago. That's according to this fossil record. Okay, that first cells is gonna be prokaryote or eukaryote.
Prokaryote.
It's going to be prokaryote, which is the cell that do not have nucleus. Now, again, after that, about 1.7 billion years ago, that new prokaryote, there will be many types. There are bigger, smaller, and then some of them evolve into the first eukaryotic cell. Now, what do you call the theory that telling you about the evolution of the eukaryotic cell?
Endosymbiosis.
Endosymbiosis theory, which is what happened?
The prokaryote gets engulfed and becomes
The-
a eukaryote.
Yeah, the big one engulfs some smaller one, and the smaller one inside the big cell become organelles. Now it's become eukaryotic cell. Now, what is the proof that the organelles actually used to be prokaryotic cell?
DNA for chloroplast and
Mitochondria. So if you observe molecular biology in the chloroplast and mitochondria, they still carry DNA. It's telling you it used to be living organisms. Okay, that's the proof that used by scientists to tell us that eukaryotic cell evolved from prokaryotic cell that perform what we call the endosymbiotics. Okay, now that's about 1.7 billion years ago, and still in the Precambrians, this eukaryotic cell then they evolve into many cells, and finally they're creating eukaryotic organisms. What is the most primitive eukaryotic organisms? Protists, which is consists of algae and protozoa. That's happening still in the Precambrian era. And then still after that is creating a next generation of eukaryotic cell. Now they even creating or evolve into primitive fish, for example. What is the most primitive fish? Do they have jaws or not? What is called that fish?
Cartilaginous.
No, the cartilaginous is the one that have jaw. This is, yeah, that's the bony one. But cartilaginous is not the bony one. But it's divided first. The one that do not have jaw is called the agnata. Agnata. A mean no. Gnata mean jaws. Okay, like lamprey, for example. There are still some that alive until now. They are actually prehistoric animals. Okay, so it's called the agnata. Agnata don't have jaws. So they evolved during Precambrian era. And then there are some also evolved into a group that have gnata, have the jaws. Okay? The one that have jaws divided into two types, chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Chondro or chondrichthyes mean cartilage. So they don't have bone, they don't have bony bone, but they have cartilage instead. This is the most primitive gnata. What is example of that? Shark. So shark is very, very prehistoric animal. Even older than the dinosaurs itself. Because dinosaurs will be coming later. Okay, shark. What is the other one? What is the other chondrichthyes?
Was it stingray?
Stingrays. It's also the chondrichthyes. And then after that, coming the osteichthyes, the fish that has bone. Okay, now from the fish that has bones, there is one of them, is called the tiktaalik. Then, scientists have found the fossils of this fish. This fish has the pectoral fin that actually able to crawl on the mud, on the land. And then making this fish fossil, the tiktaalik, become the common ancestor for the land animal. What is the name of the fossil? Tiktaalik. Not TikTok, okay? TikTok is different. TikTok, I don't have TikTok. Tiktaalik. That's the fossil of fish that develop into the land animal. What is the first land animal? Amphibian. So mostly it will develop into amphibian and then develop into the reptiles. And after the reptiles, there is a link, the fossil that link between the reptiles and the birds. So from this link, scientists believe that the bird is actually evolved from reptile. Anybody know what is the name of the fossils that Archaeopteryx? Okay, that's very famous fossils. A lot of evolution books will have that picture of Archaeopteryx, which is that bird. We don't say bird yet. That or animals is look like link between the reptile and the bird. It has a feather, it has wing, but on the beak they have the teeth, just like the reptile. Okay, so that's the links between the reptiles and the bird. Okay. Now that happens during still in the prehistoric, which is Precambrian. And then after that, what is the next one? What is after Precambrian? Paleozoic. Now many type of plants and animals evolved, including mammals also evolved during this Paleozoic. Okay, and then what is after Paleozoic? Mesozoic. This is the era of big animal that become really famous. It's making many movies from it. What is that? The T-Rex. Not only T-Rex, but the whole thing. So what do you call that? Dinosaurs. This is the era of dinosaurs during Mesozoic. when is the time between what
Let's say
250 million years ago to 65 million years ago? That's the Mesozoic. Paleozoic is between 350 to 250. And then 250, 65 is the Mesozoic. This is the time when dinosaurs rule the world, the earth. Okay? But still, there are many prehistoric animals that live, including the shark and etc., which is older than. And we know there is a what we call the mass extinctions during that time. Usually during the Triassic era, mass extinction is actually kind of kill all or many organisms. Mostly that dinosaurs is gone during that mass extinction. And then after that coming the last era, what we call it?
Cenozoic.
Ceno? Yeah, Cenozoic. 65 million years ago until now. And now starting mammalians develop mostly, rule the world until now. And when is the modern human evolve according to this fossil record?
10,000 to 25,000 years ago.
Yeah, 0.5 million years ago is about 10,000 to 25,000 years ago. It's not long ago we actually rule this world. Okay, consider the dinosaurs about million years rule the world, they gone. But we right now just about 25,000 years ruling this world. Okay. Do you have question for this? So I hope you get this, especially just the general things about this era, what happened and when it is happening. And then this will create the classification that we have right now, which is the 3 domains and 5 kingdom classification. Okay? Anybody still remember the 3 domains? Bacteria, archaea,
and
eukarya. And then the 5 kingdom system? Monera,
Protista,
Protista, then Mycota,
Yeah.
plant, and animals. Okay. Now, again, this is the classification that we have. It is made into what we call the phylogeny, the tree of life. Now we go to this. We just take 3 groups of, let's say, scientists that thinks about the origin of species. Okay, Linnaeus and many religious people follow this opinions. What the Linnaeus say? Linnaeus actually is very famous because he is the one that actually creating this classification. He is the father of taxonomy. So he's also the father of naming organism with the rule. What is the rule of naming organism? Binomial
Normal.
nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. He was the one that creating this. It means that he actually learned a lot about organism. Okay, he observed a lot of organism and then starting to classify them and give them name. And the rule for species name is following his rule until now. It's called the binomial nomenclature. Just remember, if you write things, scientific articles, you have to follow his rule when you write the name of species. Okay? Otherwise, your article will be rejected by the publisher if you don't follow this scientific rule. Now, what is the rule telling you? Species mostly have how many names? 2. That's called the binomial. Bi mean 2. Name, 2 name. What is the first name start with? Capital letter. What is the second name start? Lowercase. Both name has to be
Italicized.
size to be like this. A long time ago, when I was still undergrad, when I typing my what we call the thesis, we don't really have computer. I'm old. I think I type my thesis with you know what? The typewriter. Maybe you never see a typewriter now, right? No. How we do that? Because it is required that you have to follow the rule when writing the species name. No, there's another rule. If you're unable to perform this, you have to underline. So in the typewriter, there's underline, but you have to you have to type twice. Okay, type the word and then you going back and type the line under it. Okay, so my thesis in undergrad is actually still using the typewriter. At that time, computer is very, very new. Maybe you never see that. We have the what we call the floppy disk. Have you ever seen the floppy disk? See, it's just very flat. It's big like this. Floppy disk, and after that a little bit thicker disk, right? And after that flash disk, right? And then now everything is saved in cloud, yeah. So most of you have cloud. You still maybe have flash disk. Some of you, right? Do you maybe?
Sometimes, depending on the situation.
So yeah, but mostly now is you save your file in the cloud, whether you can actually access it from everywhere online. But I still alive during that time. The typewriting, the typewriter. We also have carbons, right? If you want to do double, you have to use carbon. So double paper and then carbon between it. Then you have double produce. But it's difficult when you make a mistake. You have to use thick XD, the white. You have to use that one and then make sure it is dry before you. So that's the old story. I still live during that time. Okay, now go here. The lineage. What he proposed about the origin of species. What he said about the origin of species.
Each species
Each
has
species
a separate act of creation.
created separately. And he also believed that there is no change in the species. It means that chicken has been created chicken since the beginning as a chicken. Okay, now my question is, which one is first, chicken or eggs?
Rhetorically,
Chicken, yeah, because I say it's chicken first. Okay, so according to his belief that every organism is created as is from the beginning until his life. Okay, so this is his belief, and many religious people also. Okay, some of religious people also believe this. So each species created as is since the very beginning. Okay, now if we use that belief or that opinion, let's say dogs, now people able to perform what we call the artificial selection, right? You get this one? Now, the dogs, the breeds that we have, there are so many different type now. Even the one that maybe since the first or the beginning is not there with the artificial selection is actually now showing up. Let's say you have a big dog, and then you have the small dog, and then interbreed together. What happened with the produce? Small or big?
In between.
Most of the time in the between, carry, because our characters, whether we are tall or short or different color, for example, is carried by the chromosome. When that chromosome combines, okay, many of them making what we call the incomplete dominant, which is creating middle characters, right? So big dog, small dog, what? If we believe that is the big dog is created as a big dog since the beginning, and the small dog, now what happened with the middle dog when it is created?
It's not real.
It I just started created when people choose these two different character dogs and then interbreed one another and then creating the medium type of dogs. Can you follow the logical explanation over here? I hope it is logical. So anybody have a kind of thinking about it? So it is a big dog, small dog, and then there used to be no middle dogs over here. What happened now is there's middle dog. If it is created since the beginning is as a species without changing, then there should be no character between this. Can you follow this? Especially now it's become really real. You can see a lot of facts that many people are able to change the species character, especially plant. Sometimes now they're able to combine one plant with another plant that producing something that is the middle between this kind of two plants. And again, maybe dog is the famous example of how so many different type of breeds is created. And that breed used to be not there since the beginning. Can you follow this? Okay. So based on these informations, okay, what do you think about the Linnaeus belief or Linnaeus observation or opinion? This is logical or it is kind of not logical if we follow the scientific facts or the rules or methodology?
Illogical.
Yeah, this is maybe not quite true because again, this is what we call the evolutions. In nature there will be a force that will create something that used not to be there before, just like the artificial selection that's creating something that not to be there before with a faster result, with the shortest time period. Okay. Do you have questions so far for this the first opinion about the origin of species? Okay. Now the second one. This is the second group. Okay. So many people also follow this opinion. Okay. Even until now, they kind of still kind of follow it. Like in the sperm bank. Have you ever heard about sperm bank? What the sperm bank actually save? What they save? What they save in the sperm banks? Sperm. Oh, of course, yeah. Because that's easy question. Now the question is, what type of sperm that they save? They usually have the list of the character of people or person that don't. I don't know whether donate or sell. That's another question. That give, let's say, just give the sperm to the sperm bank, right? And on that's gonna be list. Oh, this one is an athlete. You get the idea? This is a scientist sperm, and this is some other famous, maybe artist. Are you with me? No. Sometime when, let's say, someone or a family or a woman want to have baby, they can, I don't know whether buy it or from the. I never follow that, but there is a idea that a woman can receive that sperm from the sperm banks to have their baby, and they can choose which one, whether from athlete or from artists or from scientists. Okay, Now, what is actually their wish or their let's say when a woman coming from that bank and they say, I want to get the athlete sperm. What is actually her wish when he's asking the athlete sperm?
Like, oh,
So he wish that his baby become athletic. Can you follow this? Okay, can you follow this? Or coming out, I want to get the artist, sperm. What do you think she wish? So maybe his baby become famous like an artist. Right? No, that is kind of following the idea of Lamarck. What is Lamarck idea?
acquired characteristics.
The acquired characteristic can be inherited,
Yeah.
which is maybe yes, but most likely not. Most likely not, because that acquired characteristic is a very short term. Okay, it is actually due to the force of their, let's say, exercise and etc. that create that, and that will not save into the chromosome. It will not carry it into the chromosome. The bodybuilder muscle will not save into the chromosome just in the short period of time like that. It means that it will not inherit it to the new baby that they have. Okay, so that's the idea of Lamarck. Okay, now the last one, which is this is most of the evolutionists follow the last idea or the last opinions, which is Darwin. This is Darwinism. What Darwin mentioned about evolution?
It happens via the mechanism of natural selection.
Natural selection.
Which posits that
Mhm.
there's variation.
Variation.
In traits.
Yes. Let's start from that. Start from the variation. So there is variation in population. All right. So one group in the population is the same species, right? Maybe have a better, better ability to adapt with the condition. Some other maybe not. Right? The one that have a better quality, what happened? It will exist because the natural selection is actually will erase the other varieties. So it's work in varieties. It start with the varieties of characters. And the characters that adapted to the natural selection will be the one that stay. Or the one, then this character will be what? Will be inherited. Because it's already there. Because they already in their chromosome. You with me? Okay. Now, this is another down kind of a negative thinking about these evolutions. Is used if it is not used correctly. It's actually used for kind of artificial selection, but they put it in human. Can you follow that? So like an artificial selection in human.
The designer babies. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, I'm thinking about in 1940 something before the World War II.
Eugenics.
Yes. This is actually a lot of scientists that work with Hitler that follow this idea, the evolutionary idea, right? The best ethnic group, the best race. How they do it, even in their own population, they choose which one has to live, which one has to be euthanized. They have that. Yeah, I'm not sure because it's just in the in the story in the movie, but that's what actually what they use, which is using the evolution theory over here. They choose special people for their group, so they actually, like for example, for the one that have a weak body, they will euthanize. They will remove it. And the way also choose the best people by using the character, for example, blue eyes, right? Choose blue eyes. And then they even have the equipment that measure the head size. Why the head size? Brain. So, they believe that bigger brain is a better, smarter, etc. That's what happened during Hitler time. This is actually many people that don't like evolution use this as a no, it's not a good idea, blah blah blah. It can be used for choosing the best race or whatever. Right? So this is one of the results from the evolution. But in other words, this is actually beneficial with other artificial selection, right? For the animals, for the plant, especially during this modern world where there are so many populations growing, we need more food, eh? And then this is one of the way to choose the better quality of the food. Anybody know what is the name of the evolution or revolution that create food within very short period of time? Even though population of people is growing very fast, but actually we don't have problem with the food. If you see hunger in some area, mostly not because inavailability of the food, but because problem on that country, like for example, mostly about wars, the government. But the food is always available because of this revolution. Anybody know what is the name of revolution that provide food in the fast way for all of us? There is a special name for that one. Green Revolution. Have you ever heard about Green Revolution? That's revolutions in the food production. They're using that artificial technology, including they creating the biomolecular genetic modification, GMO, genetically modified organism, GMO. That's part of the Green Revolution. This is just for information. The food is actually available for all people in this earth. The problem with the starvations, hunger in some places is not because the food is not available, but mostly because of the problem on that country. War, most of the time. A political problem. Look at in America, in the United States. If you work in the restaurant, what happen every night if the food is not solved during the day? What they have to do? Anybody work in the food? They throw away. You see that one? They throw away because that's the that's the part of the rule. You cannot use the food today food for the next one. But if it is, giving to other people, other country, it might be enough. It means the food is enough. Okay, so that's what we call the Green Revolution. The available of food due to this revolution, and this is actually part of this evolution. Okay, so again, this is the Darwin's opinions or belief with this evolution. They start with the varieties in the population, and the one that able to adapt, the group that able to adapt is the one that will stay. And within that group also there will be varieties again. Not always the same, always variety. And then within that variety there is a force of nature that creating this group that will be exist until now. So he used this tiger. This is actually not really him that using this tiger phylogeny. Okay, so based on his idea, then scientists put this into tiger speciation, origin of tiger species. So they all have the same common ancestor. This is gonna be this one over here. Okay, so this dot over here is the common ancestor for tiger. And then from that common ancestor divided into several groups. Okay, 3 groups on here is gonna be on the Asian country, Bali, Caspian, and Java tiger. They used to live, but they all now extinct. Especially Java and Bali tiger, they gone. Java tiger, I have friend that until now still believe that Java tiger is still alive. He's actually one of the uh, researchers that still looking for the Java tiger, based on the track, okay, and based on the poop. He went into many forests, many places in Java, just looking, and he believed that Java tiger is still there. But most people believe that it's already extinct. Okay, Sumatra tiger still, until now we still have Sumatra tiger. So I used to live in the area that have this Sumatra tiger. Is called the Lampung area, which is the southern part of Sumatra. I used to live there. In this place also, we have national park. This is national park on that area. We have elephant and tiger. That's the most two animals. And the other one is the one that have horn. What is that? Rhino. Sumatran rhino still there. That's the three kind of the primary protection for them. Sumatra tiger is still there because many proof, many scientists, researchers put the camera, you see the camera on the place that considered as the home range of the tiger, and they get a lot of picture of Sumatran tiger. It's still there, and even we still also have Sumatran tiger in the zoo. Okay, so some zoo carry the Sumatran tiger. South China's still there. Siberian, this is the biggest type of tiger. Bengal and the Indo-Chinese also still alive, still exist. These are the 5 tiger species that still exist in the world. What is the most abundant one? That, if you see the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they have a lot of wild tiger that attack people or attack animals. Mostly, which tiger is that? Bengal tiger, because there's still kind of many on their area. But if it is not conserved, it is not protected, it might be gone also because people don't really like them. I mean, they become something that causing problem to their cattle or maybe to human itself. Okay, do you have question for this? At least the 3 different groups of scientists, okay, that believe in the origin of species, different history or different way the species originated, created. And which one do you think for you is up to you? I mean, that's the reason maybe there is maybe question also related, about your opinion itself about the origin of species itself. Which one, in your opinion, that is more logical? If you are really religious people, for example, I believe lineage because that's what maybe say in the book or or whatever. You can explain that also. There is no penalty to saying that it is not right, it is not true. Okay, you get this one. Okay. Okay, we still have 15 more minutes. Now, we finished with that. Origin of species. Now we go to the speciesons itself. Okay. So it means that if we go to this, okay, we actually follow the last opinion. There is change in species. Okay, species can be changed, can create or can evolve into new species. The old species can also stay, but maybe created a new species that creating many arrays of different species within the same family. Just like tiger, for example, right? Tiger, they are different species, but they are actually in the same family. Okay, dogs, there are some dog, wolf, what else? That's still in the same family, even though they are different species. Fox, maybe, right? They are canine, what? Canine. The same family, but they are different species. Okay, so this is what we call the speciation. Okay, the common ancestor evolved into different species that still they are related. There are two types of speciation. Okay, if the species develop after the split of area or maybe separate within some maybe isolations, or maybe valley, or maybe high mountains, causing two different species in one place to another place. So this one evolve into its own species. This one evolve into its own species, but their parent is actually the same. Their common ancestor is the same. Now, what do you call that speciation? Allo. Allo mean different. Okay. There is another type of speciations when actually one is a group of birds coming, which is the same species, over here. And then after years and years, this group is kind of making their own array of species within the same places. Because their competition, for example, the natural selection, some of them just choose, I will choose to live in the top of the tree. I will try to adapt to it just, for example, from part of the tree on the top. And then the other one say, I will be in the middle. And the other one, I will be on the ground, looking from the seat on the ground, for example. And then finally, what happened? They're creating their own species. They will not mating one another now. So what do you call that type of species? Sympatric speciation. Examples, during Darwin observation, this one over here. This is the sympatric speciation. What is that? The speciation of finch species. Okay, in Galapagos Island. So according to the theory, the parents of this bird is actually coming from the mainland. Okay, from the South American continent, maybe from Ecuador, or maybe from Brazil, or maybe from that mainland. They go to the Galapagos Island, they live there, and then what happened? This group separated into their own species, creating different type of finches. Now, in the Galapagos Island, there are at least 6 species finches that live in the same place, that coming from the same common ancestor, and they're adapted due to the natural selection to different type of adaptation, mainly their food choices. So mainly this is competition of their food. So creating this speciation. How many is for here? 4, right? 6. Ground cactus. This is the one that eat a cactus. Warbler. Insectivorous. This is the one that eat insect. You see the big shape, adapt to their food condition. Now again, for your presentation, maybe you can choose this bird. Okay, I want to choose bird. Just look at the beak itself. It will give you already 5 to 10 minutes actually talking about this adaptation presentation. Or some of you maybe, I just want to see the color. Why? The peacock color like that. why on the back it look like eyes. What you should dot 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 dot. You can choose that also. Just the bird, but the adaptation through their color, for example, or the shape. There are big bird, small bird. What you can use that also for your topic for your presentation. So make the correlation between the structure, morphology, which is size, color, behavior, to their adaptation and their evolution. It just become boom. Maybe one of your presentation. You can use butterfly also. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here. Okay, so this already a lot of information so far. We'll continue this allopatric and sympatric speciations again tomorrow. Tomorrow you have class at, I believe, at 9:10 maybe. Okay, because the first one is 8 to 9, and then you should be 9:10 to 10:10.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
10:10. 9:10.
9:10.
Yeah, 9:10 to 10:10. Don't forget to start your assignment 3, right? Yeah, about animal adaptation. There should be a lot. Maybe you already write 7 of them.
I'm done too.
Oh, you done too. A lot of animals. Yeah.
I've done a snake and a katydid.
So, what is the other one?
It's like a sort of tree grasshopper type.
Oh, the
I saw
grasshopper.
them our first day here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
These guys.
Oh, they look like a leaf. Wonderful. That's a good choice.
And there was a lot of photography.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's mentioned about camouflage, mimicry, and etc. That's a good
I
point also.
the chirping noise that they can make.
Okay.
Their jumping legs and their camouflage.
Okay. Okay. So I'll see you again tomorrow.
I'm staying here for our next class.
Oh, okay. Yeah, next class. Yeah. Yeah. 7 more minutes.
Toma un poquito de café.
Yeah.
Sí, de café.
Cafe. Yeah.
Sí.
Okay.
Venga, va, venga.
Okay. Gracias. Gracias.
No, venga, aquí.
Good. Good.